Hello and welcome back to another video of Formula 1 Challenge 1973. Today it's race 5 of the season, the Belgian Grand Prix in Zolder. Last time out in Spain, well, things didn't really go my way and I went out in a huge mass accident caused by someone who just came out of the pits and drove into me. And despite being caught up in that accident, Jackie actually managed to win the race, and with that he extended his championship lead by quite a large margin. At this point he has about almost 2 times the points than I do, so we're going to have our work cut out, and yeah, we'll just try to get a good result in this race to keep the championship hopes alive. So without further ado, it's time to head over to the qualifying session, which I actually recorded this time, and see where we ended up on the grid. Let's go. So yeah, here we are with the flying lap, or the hot lap, and well, this is a pretty interesting track in terms of AI behavior. Some of the AI seem to be really good at this, other ones just keep making mistakes and chaos. So we're expecting another race with a massive amount of attrition. So just as usual, the main task ahead is to get in a good position and make sure that I stay out of all the trouble and can deliver a good result that could keep my championship hopes alive. And just as usual, the Tyrrells look fairly strong again. Nothing new on that front. And Fittipaldi, actually both Fittipaldis, seem to have done quite well over the practice sessions. So this time it might be a bit less one-sided than normal, and we may actually see some other ones in the race other than the Tyrrells and myself, or the occasional McLarens. And it's a fairly short track with a few tricky sections, and with these curbs that are higher than the track itself, you need to really pay attention because they can send you airborne very quickly. That's a 128, so Sever has the pole position, followed by Merzario. And then we have the two Fittipaldis, Wilson and Emerson on P3 and 4, Clay Ragazzoni on P5, Niki Lauda on P6, Carlos Pace on P7. He's actually fairly consistent, scoring qualifying sessions around that. Jochen Mass on P8, Halewood on P9, Danny Halm on P10, Hunt down on P11, and to big surprise, we have Jackie Stewart on P12. He had a terrible qualifying session. He actually managed to wreck the car. So yeah, that didn't go too well for him. Fulmer on P13, and that's me right behind Jackie on P14. I would say it was an alright-ish qualifying session in terms of what I'm capable of on this track. Then Ronnie Peterson on P15, Oliver on P16, Reutemann on P17, Jackie X on P18. We have a lot of Jackies. Then on P19 we have Purley, P24 Revson, Beltoise on P21, Graham Hill on P22, Andrea De Adamic on P23, Jarrier on P24, Von Opel on P25, and Wissel on P26. Then we have Amon, Watson, Ganley, Scheckter, and my teammate Van Lennep quite back on the grid alongside with Butler. So not the best qualifying session, and the lights are about to go out and the race is on. I get a better start than Fulmer beside me, and I managed to overtake Jackie as well, who got boxed in. So that's a fairly good start up to P10. And now just trying to go past Halewood and Mass. and still easily overtake Pace as well, and now take a bit too much curve that basically sends my car drifting, but I managed to keep it on the track, helping Regazzoni to pull away. However, I got lucky and Pace couldn't re-overtake me, and that's a 1 second lead for Regazzoni already very early in the race, so hopefully I can catch up to him in this trickier part where we have more slower corners and this chicane where the AI seems to be especially slow. A bit shorter braking, and I'm definitely catching up to Regazzoni. It's important to overtake him because that's my ticket to the points, as he's on P6. And he's having a very aggressive fight with his teammate Lauda. Over there, one of them actually went off the track. So it looks like they all go for the point scoring positions and want to get as much points as possible. And someone made a big mistake and a mass accident. I think that was Fittipaldi. Yeah, that was Wilson Fittipaldi who spun around and got hit by Lauda and Regazzoni as well. And at the end of lap 2, I'm already up to P4, where Merzario made a big mistake and just bounced back onto the track. So that's another free position. I'm up to P3. And it was not Wilson Fittipaldi who got caught up in that accident, but Emerson Fittipaldi. And Wilson Fittipaldi is actually the one in front of me. And Regazzoni is actually still in the race, which is surprising. I thought he took a lot more damage from that collision with Emerson than he seems to actually have. And Wilson Fittipaldi got overtaken quite easily. He lost his front wing, so he's not really a match at this point. And as you can see, François Sever is leading the race and has a massive gap of almost 10 seconds. And Danny Holm is out of the race. And not a lot happened over the past couple of laps. You can see it's lap 10 now. I'm being chased by Regazzoni, who is still quite a bit behind, and Sever just increased his lead further up to more than 13 seconds. So even though Jackie is not in this race anymore, the Tyrrell is definitely strong, and well, at this point Sever seems to be more or less unbeatable, even though his advantage is melting away right now. Because he is out of the race, you just saw him right here on the track, and well, that's another free position, and that takes me all the way up to the lead. So that's P1, so all I need to do from this point on is just survive, stay out of trouble, and go home and win the race. And that would be fairly awesome, because that would help me just close the gap to Jackie in the points. And we have one of the back markers right in front of me. And as I predicted in the qualifying, the attrition is huge. Now I'm not entirely sure what causes it. I've seen a couple of mistakes on that corner where you saw Sever and Fittipaldi go out, but not everyone made a mistake there, and actually a fair amount of drivers just took that bit of the track without any issues. It seems like there is something with the pits and they just keep crashing into each other there. And as you can see by lap 15, as I'm about to overtake another back marker, Regazzoni is getting closer and closer, just less than 6.5 seconds behind. Now it's a bit more, but I'm faster on this section of the track. But regardless, he is really, really fast and he's catching up quite quickly. And I think from the BRM thing, he's the one that's still in the race. Lauda is already out as well, just like many others. And then we have lap 18, where I managed to increase the gap to Regazzoni. and I take a bit too much curb, spin the car, hit the wall, thankfully don't lose the front wing, and it feels like I have no suspension damage, so I can actually continue the race, but I lost all the advantage I had, and Regazzoni just overtakes me, and now he's up to P1, he is leading the race, and I'm followed by Hunt, who is good 5 seconds, well, almost 6 seconds behind. And nothing really happened, I couldn't catch up to Regazzoni, he managed to keep a steady 8-9 seconds gap to me, while Pace is in P3 now, and I go out to the pits because I miscalculated the amount of fuel, so I need to refuel because before we finish the race.
Regazzoni is running first, about 10 seconds ahead.
And that's a bit of an awkward pit stop from me, but you're used to that if you saw my videos from the 90s.
About 30 seconds behind.
And Pace couldn't catch me while I was in the pits, which is good. Still have a good 16 seconds lead over him, and Regazzoni just went ahead in the distance, 25 seconds at this point, 3 laps. I have absolutely no chance to catch up to him. And Scheckter is out of the race, Pace was out of the race as well by lap 32, and it's Beltoise on P3 just now. And at this point I wasn't sure how many of us are still in this race because things went just crazy, and last couple of laps whoever was left just started to go out. And Regazzoni, well, he just retired in the pits for whatever reason, and I'm back to P1. That's awesome. And now the question is whether Beltoise is still in the race or Pace. Well, Pace is definitely not in the race, as you can see there, as I'm about to win this race. And yes, I won the race. Whew, finally. Another race win, that's the second one in the season. And now I'm really curious if anyone else finished the race at all. I got really lucky with that crash that I didn't damage the car. And no one finished the race but myself. Well, that's not a lot of fun, but at least I get the 10 points and they get nothing, so I can live with that. So yeah, this was the race. Let's have a look at the driver standing, and Jackie is basically just one race win, 9 points ahead of me. I managed to increase the gap to Sever and Halm. And yeah, other than that, nothing really changed on this side of the table. So let's just head over and also take a look at the constructor standing, just to see what has changed there, because obviously the Tyrrells and pretty much no one else got any points. And yes, the Tyrrell is still leading by 13 points, and yeah, we're still on second place, which is not bad, and we still have a couple races to go to try and catch up to them and preferably beat them. So yeah, this was the Belgian Grand Prix in Zolder, and I'll see you at the next race in Monaco. Now that's gonna be even more fun than this. Goodbye!